Everyone wants to be calm, until someone cuts them off in traffic, until they get left on read, until someone raises their voice, ignores them, or questions their worth. Most people are one rude comment away from losing their center, one minor inconvenience away from spiraling, one disagreement away from self-destruction. But you're not most people, or at least you won't be after this. Because in this video, we're diving into self-mastery, how to never get angry, offended, or emotionally hijacked by anyone, ever again. This isn't about being emotionless, it's about becoming unshakable, grounded in Stoic wisdom and reinforced by dark psychological tactics the world hopes you never learn. If you're ready to build an inner fortress no one can breach, you're in the right place. Welcome to Modern Stoicism, the channel where ancient warrior philosophy meets modern mind mastery. Before we start, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because what we're about to cover isn't content. It's a blueprint for mental sovereignty in a world addicted to emotional chaos. Now let's begin. Section 1. Know what truly belongs to you. The core of Stoicism. If you want to become unshakable, start with this. Know what's truly yours, because most of your emotional chaos comes from forgetting this truth. When someone insults you, that's not yours. When someone ignores you, that's not yours. When the world doesn't behave the way you expect, it never belonged to you in the first place. You suffer because you try to control the uncontrollable. You think you deserve respect, attention, timing, outcomes, but those are external, and the moment you attach your peace to the external, you're owned. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let that sink in. It's not a motivational quote, it's a commandment. Your peace is not found in trying to change people. It's found in controlling your own focus, reaction, breath, words, frame. That's what belongs to you. And that's where real power lives. You don't need to control the storm. You need to control yourself in the storm. This shift alone makes you dangerous, because now you're not reactive. You don't panic when people offend you. You don't fold when the world disappoints you. You simply ask, is this within my control? If not, you let it go. Comment, this if you're claiming sovereignty. I only respond to what I control. I don't flinch for the rest. Say it. Burn it in. That's how you begin to build a mind that no one can touch. And if this landed with you, like the video now, because we're just getting started. Next up, the pause principle. Delay is power, where we build the reflex that separates powerful men from impulsive ones. Shall I continue? Section 2. The pause principle. Delay is power. The average man reacts, the mastered man responds. That's the difference between emotional chaos and self-command, just a few seconds of silence. The pause principle is simple. Before you speak, before you lash out, before you let the emotion take the wheel, pause. And in that pause, you regain your throne. Epictetus said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. You were not born angry. You were trained to react without thinking, to let emotion dictate action. But when you pause, just for 2 or 3 seconds, you interrupt the entire emotional pattern. Your breathing slows, your nervous system resets, and most importantly, your logic returns. This is how the Stoics remained calm in the face of betrayal, insults, and even death. They didn't suppress the emotion, they observed it, and chose the response that served their character, not their impulse. Want power in any room? Pause. Want to dominate a conversation without saying a word? Pause. Want to destroy a manipulator's script? Pause. Comment this now if you're choosing response over reaction. I pause, I process, I remain in power. Let the world panic. You will remain silent, steady, and lethal. And if that principle just clicked, like the video now, because this channel isn't about hype. It's about high-level control. Next, we flip the script on offense and learn how to make insults fuel your power. Section 3. Mental reversal. Flip the offense. Dark psychology tactic plus Stoic perception shift. Now that you know what truly belongs to you, let's upgrade your perception. Because not only should you stop reacting, you should start reframing offense as power. This is the art of mental reversal. When someone insults you, most people feel attacked. But the Stoic sees it differently. He sees data, he sees exposure, he sees control. Marcus Aurelius said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This isn't denial, it's domination. You flip the meaning. Let's say someone calls you weak. Option 1, you react, defend yourself, argue. Result, you lose power. Option 2, you say nothing. You smile. You mentally think, "Thank you for revealing your insecurity. You've just shown me who's really weak." Result, you gain power, silently. This is dark psychology at its cleanest. When someone tries to offend you, they're exposing their own emotional need. You don't feed it, you use it. Here's the practice. Every insult becomes evidence of their lack of control. Every disrespect becomes proof of your restraint. Every emotional jab becomes a chance to rise. You're not just unbothered, you're now in control of the frame. Comment this if you're taking back your power. Offense reveals them, not me. I flip it and I rise. Let that be your new lens. Because when you stop taking things personally, you start taking control of everything. Like the video if this hit deeper than expected, and stick around. Next, we go from mind to body, because stillness isn't just mental, it's physical. Section 4. Body stillness equals mind control. Master the body, anchor the mind. Your body speaks before your mouth does, and most of the time, it betrays you. When you're angry, your shoulders rise. When you're anxious, your fingers twitch. When you're insecure, your eyes dart, your breath shortens, and your energy leaks. But here's the secret. If you can control your body, you can control your mind. The Stoics believed in embodying calm, not just thinking it, but wearing it. Their silence wasn't passive, it was discipline made visible. And in dark psychology, body stillness is a dominance cue. In a room full of nervous movement, the person who remains perfectly still becomes the center of gravity. So next time someone tries to provoke you, freeze, hold your posture, relax your jaw, keep your breathing deep and slow, lock your eyes, not aggressively, but intentionally. Because the more still your body becomes, the more authority your presence gains, and the more you begin to believe in your own control. Here's what happens when you master this. People speak to you more respectfully. You interrupt emotional spirals before they start. Your calm unnerves those who seek chaos. You begin to rewire your nervous system to associate stillness with power. This isn't performance, it's precision. It's what the Stoics called soma semnon, a body of dignity. You're not faking confidence, you're embodying command. Comment this if you're taking control of your physical signals. My stillness is my power, my body obeys my mind. If this resonates, like the video now, because few are talking about this, but the powerful already know it. Next, we take this into conversation, where control of the frame determines the energy of the room. Section 5. Master the frame, control the flame. Social control through mental framing. In every room, in every conversation, in every argument, there is a frame. The frame is the mental lens through which the interaction takes place. It's the unspoken rules of who's in control, whose emotions dominate, and whose energy sets the tone. And most people, they give the frame away instantly. Someone insults them, and they defend. Someone questions them, and they explain. Someone disrespects them, and they explode. They let others control the emotional temperature, but the Stoic doesn't chase the frame. He creates it. He defines the terms. He holds it steady and lets others burn themselves trying to break it. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Let's break it down. When someone tries to pull you into their emotional frame, chaos, ego, tension, you respond with neutrality, not apathy, not weakness, but a calm that says, "You don't decide how I feel. I do." This does two things. It neutralizes their attack, like punching water. It makes them feel off balance because their usual tactics don't work on you. Dark psychology calls this frame control. It's one of the most subtle but effective forms of social dominance. When you control your emotions, you control the situation. And soon, others start adjusting to your frame, your tone, your rhythm, your vibe. Here's the practice. In arguments, slow things down instead of speeding them up. In conflict, respond with questions instead of defensiveness. In conversation, speak in measured sentences and pause often. In chaos, remain physically and emotionally unmoved. This will train people to respect you, even fear you, without a single outburst. Comment this if you're taking command of the frame. I set the tone. I control the frame. Like the video if you're building this inner presence, because this is how empires are led, not just emotions. Next, we weaponize preparation, so you're never caught off guard again.
Section 6. Anticipate disrespect. Preload your mind. If you're shocked by disrespect, you've already lost control. If someone's rudeness surprises you, that means you weren't ready, and an unprepared mind is always a reactive mind. The Stoics had a powerful practice called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of misfortune. Every morning they would visualize everything that could go wrong, betrayal, insult, injury, loss, before it happened. Not to become paranoid, but to become prepared. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, 'Today I will meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness.' This is a psychological preload, an armor you build before stepping into the day. So when disrespect appears, and it will, you don't flinch, you don't take it personally, you simply say, 'Ah, there it is, as expected.' This destroys the emotional power of surprise. You're no longer ambushed, you're anchored. This also aligns with a dark psychology concept known as desensitization, exposing the mind to something mentally so that it loses emotional impact when it happens externally. Here's how to use this today. Before a meeting, imagine someone talking over you. Before a date, imagine being ignored or rejected. Before a family gathering, imagine subtle insults or challenges, and then tell yourself, 'I will not respond with emotion. I will remain calm, measured, and in control.' Anticipation creates mastery. This is why soldiers train with live fire, why fighters take hits in practice, why Stoics meditate on hardship, because nothing disturbs the mind that's already seen it. Comment this if you're choosing preparedness over panic. I expect resistance. I welcome it with calm. Let the chaos come. You'll already be waiting for it. Still, steady, unshaken. Like the video now if this mental armor resonates with you, because this is the layer most men never build. Next, we talk about emotional economy. and how to starve the fire before it ever consumes you. Section 7. Learn to starve the fire. Withhold energy. Not every fire needs to be fought. Some just need to be starved. Here's the truth no one tells you. Anger feeds on attention. Drama feeds on reaction. Disrespect feeds on your energy. But if you stop giving fuel, the fire dies. Most people don't understand emotional economy. They hand out their attention to anything that provokes them. They argue back, get triggered, explain themselves. They become predictable, reactive, and weak. But you're going to learn how to withhold energy and become untouchable. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Here's why this works so well. In dark psychology, this is called emotional starvation. When someone expects a reaction and gets silence, they lose control because your attention was their leverage and you just took it away. Think of it like this: a petty insult, let it land and say nothing. Someone tries to get a rise out of you, look at them, blink, and walk away. Passive-aggressive behavior, don't confront, just reduce access. You are training people with your energy. Every reaction teaches them how to control you. Every non-reaction teaches them how powerless they are to disturb you. Let your silence say, "I am not available for nonsense." Here's how to practice this today. Pause before replying to any emotionally charged message. Let people wonder what you're thinking instead of giving them answers. Speak only when it serves your strategy, not your ego. You are now practicing emotional austerity, minimalist, calculated, and effective. Comment this if you're done feeding the fire. I give no fuel to fools. I reserve my energy for power. Section 8. Say less, observe more. The tactical withdrawal. In a world that talks too much, the man who speaks less becomes feared, respected, and remembered. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy, it's control, it's psychological warfare. Most people reveal themselves in the first 5 minutes of speaking. Their insecurities, their neediness, their emotional chaos. The more they talk, the more they leak. The Stoic, he observes, he calculates, he speaks only when necessary, and when he does, every word lands like a sword. Epictetus said, "Nature gave us one tongue and 2 ears, so we could hear twice as much as we speak." This is not just wisdom, it's a tactic. In dark psychology, this is called the tactical withdrawal. Say less, withdraw emotionally, make the other person fill the space, reveal themselves, chase your attention. Here's what happens when you master this. People lean in when you talk. You gain authority without force. You create mystery, tension, and psychological weight. You don't just speak power, you radiate it. Silence unsettles people. Why? Because it gives them nothing to react to. When someone tries to provoke you and you say nothing, that void makes them uncomfortable. They begin second-guessing. You've already won. Here's how to apply this today. In conversations, pause longer than feels comfortable before responding. Let others speak first. And more. When insulted, respond with silence and stillness. When asked personal questions, answer just enough to maintain the frame. This is the difference between being heard and being remembered. You don't owe the world your full access. You are no longer performing. You are positioning. Comment. This if you're speaking with strategy. I say little. I watch everything. Silence is my strength. If that's your new code, like this video now, because your restraint is no longer passive. It's calculated power. Next, we raise your threshold for chaos, so that nothing and no one can shake your center. Section 9. Desensitize yourself to chaos. Most people live in a comfort loop, and because of that, even the slightest disruption sends them spiraling. A passive-aggressive message, a delay, an argument, a tone. They break because they were never trained to endure. But a Stoic man, he doesn't hope for calm, he trains for chaos. And that's why he's composed while others collapse. This is the practice of desensitization, voluntary exposure to discomfort, tension, and unpredictability, until it no longer rattles you. Seneca said, Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself, "Is this the condition that I feared?" The modern world calls it stress inoculation. The Stoics called it preparation for life. Dark psychology calls it threshold expansion, gradually increasing your pain tolerance until it no longer registers as pain. You must become familiar with pressure, so that when it arrives unexpectedly, you feel nothing. Here's how to train this. Sit in silence for 30 minutes daily. No phone, no stimulation. Do cold exposure. Showers, ice baths, unheated environments. Fast for 12 to 16 hours once a week. Engage in difficult conversations without flinching. Embrace awkwardness instead of avoiding it. Stay calm in noisy, stressful places. And observe instead of reacting. Each time you remain calm in the storm, your nervous system adapts. You literally raise your tolerance for chaos. Soon, what used to trigger you will amuse you. Where others see pressure, you'll see opportunity. And while others seek escape, you'll feel at home, because you've been here before. Comment. This if you're raising your threshold. I am calm in chaos. I do not fear disorder. I train inside it. If that's your energy, like the video now, because this mindset separates warriors from worriers. Section 10. Anchor your identity in inner law, self-legislation over social validation. You've eliminated reactivity. You've trained your emotions. You've prepared for insult, chaos, and discomfort. But now comes the most important step. Anchor who you are in something no one else can touch. Because here's the harsh truth. Most people don't live by a code. They live by reactions. They adapt to approval. They seek external validation. And as a result, their identity is fragile. But a Stoic doesn't bend to the crowd. He follows an internal compass, a law written within. Marcus Aurelius said, "Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter." The anchor is this: you define your values, you write your rules, and then you obey them relentlessly, no matter what's happening outside of you. This is your inner law, and once it's set, you don't explain yourself. You don't justify your peace. You don't debate your standards. You simply live by them and let others adjust. Here's how to solidify it. Choose your top 3 values. Examples: discipline, stillness, integrity, precision, sovereignty. Write a 1-line code for each. Example: I don't speak to impress. I speak with purpose. I train when I don't feel like it, because I serve a higher standard. Review this daily. Repeat it under pressure. Live it when no one's watching. This is how you become immune to external influence. Your identity is no longer reactive, it's self-legislated. You don't just look unbothered, you are. Because nothing outside can shake a man who lives by an unshakable law inside. Comment. This if you're done being shaped by others. I follow my own law. My identity is mine alone. If this final lesson locked in your transformation, like the video now, and subscribe to Modern Stoicism for more elite-level inner power strategies. Turn on notifications. This isn't entertainment. This is evolution. This is Stoicism for the modern warrior. And now, you're one of them. Stay sharp. Stay sovereign.